They call him Sultan, more famously 001. Let me just call him Ali Hassan Joho, governor of Mombasa. That's the name in the air today, that people are looking at Joho as a possible presidential candidate in this country. They are even suggesting that 2022, the contest is going to be between William Samoei Ruto and Ali Hassan Joho. I've always known and I've always believed that at some point in the future, there's going to be a Muslim president in this country. I've equally known and believed it to be true that Ali Hassan Joho was always going to be that Muslim that will bring this leadership to that community. But it's coming a little faster, a little earlier than I thought. And the reasons, as I'm meant to believe, as I hear people discuss in Nairobi and elsewhere, is because of a vacuum. The vacuum was created on the 30th of January 2018 at Uhuru Park. And nature, they say, abhors a vacuum. The argument is that the absence of Wetangula from Uhuru Park during NASA's big day has created that vacuum. That Musalia Mudavadi not making it to Uhuru Park has created the vacuum. That Kalonzo Musyoka not turning up for his big day to be inaugurated as the country's deputy president, whether people's or otherwise, has set in motion the possibility of a Joho candidacy. That now Joho is a man standing, and it only remains that he gets Raila's blessings and he becomes the man to face William Ruto in 2022. But before we see why Joho stands a big chance of going for the presidency, let's look at this so-called vacuum. The vacuum was created perhaps because the three NASA principals developed cold feet. I would not blame them if they developed cold feet. The function at Uhuru Park was of such a momentous proportion that it would take a tough guy to appear there. But then the question being asked is, if you want to be president, you must have the ambition. But like Mark Antony in Shakespeare's Julius Caesar says, ambition should be made of sterner stuff. Failing to appear at Uhuru Park because you are afraid of death may not really prove or show you are the kind of person who can become president. I say this because the presidency is the most dangerous job. The king was always at the danger of assassination. The president is always the most guarded citizen of any country. We all saw the kind of security Obama enjoys when he came in this country as a president of the United States of America. Today in Kenya, we know Uhuru's security is next to none. And it's not for fun. It's because he's perpetually in danger. To go for presidency is like to sign a death certificate, and therefore any cowardice may not count for anything. Secondly, they say there was American influence. It is possible the American influence could make somebody think twice about participating in such an event. But the question one would want to ask is this: how really would you be a serious Kenyan, a serious African, without knowing that nothing good has come from the West? Anytime the West has interfered or taken part in African affairs, it has left in its wake destruction, poverty, and all manner of ills. The three principals have also said that their security was withdrawn. What their followers are asking is this: did you expect the government to arm you on their way to removing the same government from power? Did you expect a red carpet welcome to Uhuru Park to participate in a process that will take leadership away from Uhuru Kenyatta and William Ruto? So your followers, Musalia Mudavadi, Moses Wetangula, and Kalonzo Musyoka, are saying what you are giving are not reasons, instead they are excuses. The bottom line is that whatever reasons you give for not participating in the function at Uhuru Park on the 30th of January will always be dismissed as your followers for excuses. And this then creates a vacuum. And it's this vacuum that I'm saying people are now talking about a Joho candidacy for 2022, that all it will take is a Raila support and Joho will be the man. At the local level, Kalonzo Musyoka must now know that there are now people coming to take up his position. There is Dan Manzo. There is Senator Mtula Kilonzo. In Western Kenya, we are looking at people like Geoffrey Osozi. We are looking at Senator Malala. And the two governors who are exiting in 2022, Sospita, Odek, Ojamong, generally, Oparanya. So we are saying this vacuum is almost getting filled. And I would advise my three principles that if they really must stop this vacuum being filled, they must move with speed and do something that will convince the NASA followers that they do not really want to abdicate whatever the people had given them. Because from Salia Mudavadi, for example, he had gone so high up there that many people were saying he was definitely, together with Kalonzo Musyoka, a very, very sure win for 2022. Now let's go to Sultan. Why do I think Sultan stands a big chance? Sultan, one, is a man of means. In his own words, akona basha yake ambaye Mwenyezi Mungu amempa. Sultan, number two, is a bold man. He was in Uhuru Park on 30th of January when the bigger principles were not there. This has earned him respect. It makes people in this country believe he can stand with Baba, he can be there for bad or for worse. Number three, Joe stands a chance because I am sure he can get and attract serious funding from the Muslim and Arab world. And that brings me to the last reason why I believe a Joho presidency is not a dream in this country. The Muslim will go out of their way to ensure that if there is a chance, even half a chance, of leading such an important nation like Kenya, they will give it their all. And that makes Joho's candidacy a thing you can only dismiss if you do not understand the geopolitics that will inform these politics. Finally, a word for government. Government has power. We all know it. After all, government controls all the instruments of violence and of force. It does so legally. And therefore, government should not demonstrate its power, especially on small people. By doing the kind of things you are doing, and this is now has a connection with what I'm saying about Joho, you then create heroes out of people who maybe didn't have that kind of power. Government created Joho. Government is creating TJ Kajwang. He can be Senator of Nairobi if he wants any time. Government has created Miguna. If elections for governor were called tomorrow, Miguna will sweep the election by 10 o'clock with the governor of Nairobi. So I'm only advising government, since you have power, do not demonstrate that power, especially on small people. We already know you are powerful. Act within the law. For example, shutting down media not only spoils the name of this country, internationally and locally, but it is also unnecessary. Because we live in a digital world and you cannot really block people from information. Yet the actions you take in trying to demonstrate your power, which you already have, are not only unnecessary, but they soil the name of the country. And with that, the name of all its citizens who are always proud. Nobody, least of all me, I'm not saying that events of 30th of January were good. All I'm saying is the reaction to the same would be within civil bounds so that government comes out respected, so that Kenyans feel and the international community feel government was acting in the best interest of the people of Kenya.